Hello and welcome to the channel. I am Chris Master 2K and today we're going to be looking at Campaign 3 Westward Advance. Now for those of you that have seen the other videos of mine, the way we're going to do this today is we're only going to use one pause. What do I mean by that? What I mean is we're going to pause the game right at the beginning by pressing space. We're going to set our tracks and trains, and as soon as we unpause, we're not going to pause to do that again. So that I might take a comfort break at some point, in which case I'll press escape, but I'm not going to pause any of the in-game play that allows me to do anything in the game. Now if you have a look at Westward Advance, you see you've got some fantastic top scores here, 776. I'm not quite as good as these guys, but I'm still pretty good. So if I show you where I'm up to at the moment, I'm 129, that's my best previous score, and that's out of 28,000. So I'm in the top 1%, maybe the top 0.5% already. This wasn't with a no pause try, so today I'm going to see if we can get an even better score than that. We have to play this level as the general. That means we get freight and mail bonus, which is well worth having. Lower track construction costs, but tunnels and bridges will really cost us. Now fortunately on this level there aren't too many tunnels and bridges that need to be built. And we're going to try our best to avoid building those, especially in the early stages when we don't have very much funds available.
I intended to realize the Nord Express.
I'm going to skip through this a bit, and I'm going to pause the game now.
So, you're the railroad virtuoso I've been told so much about. It's a great pleasure to meet you. It really is. My name is Colonel Cyrus K. Holliday. You can address me simply as Colonel. I believe that God gave us civilization to make the wild lands subject to man. As it says in Genesis, fill the earth and subdue it. And that is what we are here for. It is our manifest destiny. I've been working on my goals in this region for 15 years. The war has held up much that should have been reality a long time ago. For example, look at my magical little city of Topeka. I founded it in the firm belief that this land would become the most lovely and desirable that the sun has ever warmed. But Topeka has stagnated. It must be our first priority to change this.
So we'll have a quick look at our tasks that we need to do. So there's 2 delivery tasks. We need to transport a lot of freight, and we need to advertise a settler bonus in Topeka. Now the Topeka one we can get straight away. Sometimes the game gives you slightly more than 1,000 population, which makes this cheaper, but today it's given us 993, which means it's 500,000 instead of 450. Just to show you the tech tree, I've taken the bonuses for the track construction, because that's 5%. We're going to be spending a lot of money on track. Maybe most of this is going to go on track. So being able to save 5% on that might be enough for an extra train later on. And remember, trains mean money. So to start with, I'm going to put my first station in Topeka. Let's just get this oriented right. The positioning of these city buildings feels quite random. Sometimes these 2 are split apart and you have to try and squeeze your station in between. But this has been quite kind to me here because I don't have too many sharp turns on that track. So our plan to start with is we're just going to lay some track. And we're going to connect these 3 cities. Conveniently, these 3 cities all produce the goods, so if you like, the tier 1 goods that we need. So we've got beer, cloth and meat already being produced. They're all in a nice line. I'm going to see if I can get this any cheaper. I mean 58 is pretty good, but let's see if we can. happens if I take it off completely? Yeah, 92. Let's put it back on. Okay, 55. And we're just going to... There we go. 55, that's good, I'll take that. One of the things about this level is you often find you don't have very much in the way of funds. So we're going to have to be quite careful about how we build our tracks even at this phase. If we can save a few thousand here and there, but then we definitely should. So we're going to need to bring corn into Topeka at a very early point in the game. So I'm going to get that line done now. $137, that's okay. And I'll bring this up here. And we're going to have this one coming down here as well. And let's just set some directions. That's got directions. That's got directions. You haven't got directions. And there's different ways I've tried going at this point. I've tried sending a line up to Omaha and doing it early. You've got a choice. You can send your line up from Topeka or you can send your line up from Kansas City. I prefer connecting from Kansas City just because it keeps all my expresses in a nice chain here. Again, I've tried opening up down here quite early on, but Oklahoma doesn't give you much in the way of traffic or freight to start with. So I've got this strategy I've been using which I call early Denver, or Denver first. And so we're going to put a station in Denver. Let's see, and we want it quite a long way back from these lines because we are going to have to tunnel underneath them. And because of our character, tunnels are going to cost us money. So 178, 3%. Can I get you lower? 2%. 210. 177. I can't be unhappy with that. Okay, let's bring you out here. And I'm going to connect the back of this onto the main line as well. Again, there's a reason for this, which should become apparent when I start setting up my trains. And we're going to want to be able to bring the wood over to Topeka as well, so I'm going to create a line off this. Just going to put a little bit more track down. See what we can get Wichita to Dodge City to look like. Okay, right, now we're going to have to take out some bonds. Now because we've laid quite a lot of track so far, our company value is looking pretty good, so 3.6 million, that's alright. And we're going to take out the small one and then we're going to take out the large one. And now we're going to start putting some trains on the network. So we'll do our express trains first because that's easier. And we're going to use the Inyos to start with. The Fort Quinaos are faster, they're probably better, but they're also more expensive. And we just do not have a large amount of money on this level. We are going to be upgrading those in due course from the Inyos. In terms of our tech tree, obviously we took the construction and we took the mail bonus over here. Our next priority is going to get the class 121s. So at some point, probably around about April, May of this year, we're going to get all that research through and we're going to upgrade to 121s. And we're going to run an express line from Topeka up to Denver. So let's just double check the trains we've got. Yep. Okay, just going to rename some of these stations. Denver to, let's rename it to My Denver Station. I'm going to rename this one. So those are my express lines sorted. I need to connect in the grain and we do get connection bonus for this. Now we're going to set some of our freight trains running. So we're going to start with Wood, and you're going to go to Topeka, to Wichita, and back to Topeka. And we're going to set you as a manual train. So wood, I want you to unload half of these into Topeka, and you can take some beer towards Wichita. And then you can go to Topeka. So we're going to take wood to both of these, and we're also going to bring back goods. Next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do my grain train. So we'll get the bonus for this. And again, we're going to make this one manual. Where's the one I'm looking for? There it is. Just going to rename the station here. So we've done something similar with the grain, is that we're delivering it to some of our cities, but then we're also using that to spread the goods up and down across our network. Let's just call you Grain Central. So for this one, we're just going to put a freight train on just for Kansas City. That's going to move nicely around. I'm just going to change that from an inyo. Put that as a consolidation. So we've got wood going to all three of them. We've got grain going to all three of them. Next thing to hook in is our corn. Mustn't forget our corn. So corn, we're going to go corn to Topeka. That does our first task, and then we're going to get some wood, and then you're going to go all the way up to Denver, and you're going to leave Denver empty, and you're also going to leave Topeka empty. Next one, we're going to do a corn delivery down to Wichita, and you're going to go back up to Denver, and you're going to take the meat up there. So we want you to leave Denver empty on the way back, but we want you to take meat up to Denver when you do that. We're just making our trains work quite hard in these early stages. Put a consolidation on. Okay, next one we're going to do is we're going to do wood all the way up to Denver, but on the way back you're going to grab me some corn, and then we're going to end up in Topeka. So I want you to leave there empty, and I want you to leave there empty. And I'm going to call you, it's actually going to be, I don't want you to go to Topeka, what am I talking about, silly me, Kansas. Yeah, I've got this completely wrong. Let's just get rid of that completely. Get rid of that completely. Right. Corn to Denver is going to take care of the wood. What I need to do is start in Kansas City and go up to Denver and come back with some corn. And I want you to leave Denver empty. Actually, just going to create that as a ghost line for the time being. And I'm going to try and think what I'm going to do with this final 160, because I'm going to get my bonuses pretty soon. So, what can I do with that? Because I haven't got enough to bring in the sugar just yet, which is 174. But things will get moving very quickly. I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade my expresses, and we're just going to see if we can generate a little bit more money. And in Topeka, I'm going to put a post office. What the heck, let's do the restaurant now. In terms of express, Topeka is going to be a big interchange station, so I will end up having maintenance depots in Wichita, Kansas City, and in Denver, so it makes sense to put the post office there. Right, spent all the money, set up, here we go, we're going to unpause for the last time. Now we're going to bring some sugar across. We're going to bring the sugar to Wichita, to Topeka and back to Wichita. And we're going to go as a freight train. I've gone past it.
Alle Achtung! Your machine is capable of breaking performance records.
We're going to buy this one before the price on it goes up by too much. And we're going to hook another express into here. Express. Put the Inyo on that one. Give you one of those from the start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that there just to get that. And I'm going to bring this out. It's quite expensive. My plan is I'm going to be connecting in Dodge City. So what I could do is I could bring this back just for now. Let's bring in some more sugar while we can. And we'll get Dodge City connected in.
One more train station can't hurt after all.
So we're going to put an automatic on between those two, and I'm going to try and pick a quite cheap train. Yeah, we'll put that on. That's going to start doing some passengers and some goods between Wichita and Dodge City. Now I'm going to have to start thinking about maintenance and supply posts. So what I often do is I just get things growing as soon as I can. And then I worry about other things afterwards. So we could just move you up to a fork. No, and that would temporize things. Wonder if I can start making some money this way. Want to get maintenance in Denver. Because I have a lot of trains that come through here, a lot of whom have travelled quite long distances. to have to start thinking about maintenance in this part of the world as well. Let's put maintenance on Kansas. We'll get some maintenance on Wichita. So let's just have a look at Wichita. It's growing nicely. Still need to get some cloth down. I might just do something slightly direct. So if we look ahead to our tasks in this, there's cities that we need to grow, and Wichita is one of them. Let's just put a cheap one on. So we need Wichita to grow for phase 2 so that we can get 8 fruit there. And in order to deliver fruit, it needs to be 45,000. Later on we need Denver to be up to 55,000 so it can, 50,000 so it can receive clothing. Sorry, tickling my throat today. Let's just do a check-in. So that's making good money. That's making really good money. Let's just put a maintenance on this one. And then my cluster will be self-supporting. There we go. Right, we're all good on that. So next thing I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start bringing goods into Dodge City. I'll do it that way around. One of our tasks for phase 3 is to found Dodge City, and for phase 4 is to have 2 cities. So we get this going and we'll get growth, and it's also going to help us meet our freight targets. How's Topeka doing? Well, he's growing. And we're up to 10 wood on Topeka. Right. Next thing, we're going to put a dedicated wood train on here. Freight. And I want you to go quickly. And I want you to take a minimum of 2. Let's just check. I just need to deliver one more. Okay, I want you to take a minimum of 1. If you start delivering wood right from the beginning, you find around about the start of April, Topeka gets its final delivery. Because of the size of it, you can't rush it. Okay, so we're getting pretty close, aren't we? Let's make sure that Topeka's got 7 goods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so as soon as the wood is delivered, we go into phase 2. I think we can probably stick another freight on here, actually. Once we go into phase 2, our tasks are the fruit to Wichita and the 7 goods to Topeka. So we'll already have one of them done by the time that happens. Oh, forgot to put a gridiron on there. My fault. wonder if we've managed to get the Kansas to Wichita. Yeah, no, that's on its way now. Here we go, here's our wood delivery. April the 14th, or thereabouts, is how it can happen. Let's see if we can get it a little bit earlier.
Freshly laid tracks fills the air with joyful anticipation. Ah, I thought your way of doing business would be right up my alley. Efficient and reliable. Keep it up, and God will open all doors for us. Now we must not let up. In sleepy Topeka, the seed of true growth is stirring. The connection between Topeka and its near and far neighbors will take on special significance in our endeavor.
So the next thing I'm going to be doing, I'll just show you the task list, is I need to get my fruit to Wichita. But I'm going to put a warehouse in Wichita, and we're going to use that warehouse to pull sugar through. So we had the, if you like, the micromanaged trains of delivering sugar to Wichita and to Topeka, so we can meet the tasks. And now we're just going to use this as a huge warehouse. I'm going to pull in lots and lots of goods into Wichita. Couple of reasons. Number one, I get a freight bonus for doing it. Number two, it means that Wichita is then going to be used to supply sugar to Kansas and Topeka, but it's also going to be used to supply raw goods to these two cities down here. So bring in the corn, it makes meat, don't need that. Let's bring those in. Okay, and we're going to do automatic distribution, and we're just going to use this as a huge depot to stockpile things in. Corn, Denver, Kansas City to Wichita. I'm just going to upgrade you into something a little bit better because you're going to start taking sugar up there soon. Oh, I'll need one of these. Come on. Let's see how close we are to bonds. We've got 872, and what we're worth at the moment, 62. How much beer do we have? Okay, I'm going to send some beer up to Topeka, sorry, up to Omaha, and we'll send some of those back as well. Just to see if we can inject a bit of growth into Omaha. We're going to put another platform on this side. Just to help with our trains. Let them get through. And what I'm going to do with this guy is we're going to start stockpiling grain in Wichita. So you could do with an immigration office. Let's put that in. And how are my other cities looking? Kansas, where's Denver? You're getting close. And Wichita's getting close as well. I'm going to pop another express on this line. And we're going to pop another train on here. That one. So that should found Dodge City for us. Because I think Dodge just needs wood and a bit more grain and then it's done. And a bit more meat as well. Okay, but we're delivering the cows down there, so that should work out. So here I've got a bit of a choice. Do I go into North Platte or do I go into Oklahoma? Or do I bump up my money? Kansas City to Topeka, that's doing really well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hang back a little bit because my research for the new train, the 121, should unlock soon. I'll have some money to spend on upgrading my express trains. I'm now 6.8. So at some point I'm going to want to repay this bond and take out another one. Let's just do my expresses first.
I hope the new locomotive is more reliable than your previous ones, because otherwise our competition will soon become very one-sided.
I'm going to do North Platte. Actually, we'll just get this running. How's my corn doing? Still hasn't gone up to level 2, but hopefully soon. We're going to call this one green sugar. So I'll have that one ready to go. You need some more grain? What's happening to all the grain? Ah, that's what's happening to all the grain. There is none. Right. Wood. Oh, hang on. Let's get rid of my... Yeah, we can get rid of that one. We don't need that one anymore. And we'll get Oklahoma City. Just had a thought actually. I'm going to put post office in here.
A breakdown? Could it be
See if
that
it'll
you
make me a
don't
bit more
have
money.
your technology under control?
How much grain have I got in here? I've got grain in there. And how much do you need? You going to take any grain down? Yes, you are. Okay. We're going to take grain from here up to Dodge City. And we're going to need to put our... Oh, we're a bit late with our immigration there. That's my fault. Let's just pop you here. That means Denver probably needs an immigration as well. Yeah, we'll pop an immigration here. Let's just check our bond situation. Yeah, we'll just take the biggest bond we can. Pop an immigration in here. Oh, not that fast. Need to slow down. We'll just put maintenance here because we're going to want maintenance there at some point. And how are we doing for wood? We've got loads of wood, haven't we? Right, let's send another one down to Oklahoma. And I'm actually going to start stockpiling in Wichita as well. You're running a bit low, aren't you? Let's stop there. Dodge City's founded. I'm going to block its factory. That's the other thing I need to do. Oh gosh, clicked the wrong thing. We're going to block the factory in Dodge City because we've got plans for this later on. Later on, right at the end of the game, this is going to be making chemicals for us. Okay, now I need to hook this line in. I'm going to start delivering milk. Actually, I'm going to do something a little bit different here. Bring that out there. And now we're going to connect North Platte over to Omaha. Because we want to start bringing wood in towards North Platte. $116, that's okay. Have you as automatic, but you're not going to take back any beer. Actually, I'm just going to have you as a freight. So one of our tasks later on becomes getting transport of passengers down this line here. So I don't want my passengers going over the top and somehow getting down to Denver that way. I want them to all come round through this central line here because that means I get the task done quicker. So I'm going to deliberately leave North Platte not transporting passengers to Denver at this point in time. And we're going to get some sugar from you over to Omaha, and then you can do that. Now the other thing I was going to do here is I'm going to put in a warehouse, and that warehouse is going to handle milk and apples and salt and chemical. I'm going to put this on automatic distribution, and we're just going to bump these up. The reason I don't want to take any beer back is because later on in the game we need to have 2 breweries under our control. So I'm deliberately trying to keep Denver and North Platte as breweries that don't do very much. Now it's harder to do with Denver because obviously Denver's a bigger city and it starts to use its own supply. But it is achievable with North Platte. And the other thing is, Oklahoma is going to be the other place where I'm going to put something in. Put a beer factory down in Oklahoma. So I could potentially do both of these, but if Denver gets too expensive, then I won't. Let's just check our population, see if I need to put any more immigration officers in. Denver, I think you're okay. Kansas, you're growing nicely. Okay, what does North Platte need to grow? It needs wood, it's got meat, it's going to need some cloth. Kansas City, have you got extra cloth? Not right now. Okay, let's get some wood over there. So I wonder if I can... Oh wow, that's amazing. That's huge. A minute, let's put another one on there. That's good money as well. So I'm just going to leave these ones alone. When Denver is large enough, I'm going to block Denver. My grand plan for Denver and the freight in Denver is that I'm going to be using Denver as my steel factory. 41,000. Oh right, I'm getting pretty close, aren't I? I need to get this guy ready. Just going to double track you down here. So it's Kansas to Wichita. We're going to bring you down to here. Bring you into there, actually. Why is it not got the corn coming in? Interesting. What's my corn doing? On. Put another one on.
A formidable example of how not to do it. Yeah.
Let's just take you off. And then I'll have you waiting to go from Thomas Stop into Wichita. And you're going to run with 8. So as soon as you tick up to 45, it's going to be ready to go. And I'm going to need to start bringing in some vegetables. Denver, I'm going to block you straight away. Block Denver. What does Omaha need more of? Oh, it's only a train, isn't it? Let's just bring that over there. We can get rid of that one. Maybe I should put a bypass around this as well. Put a bypass. Let's get our vegetables flowing. Oklahoma needs a bit more wood and a bit more meat. What have you got there? You're taking wood there. And have you got any extra meat in Wichita? No, you don't. Okay, so you're now free to go. So as soon as you get up to Wichita, we're going to see something happen with the task. Okay, I'm going to start some trains going now from Topeka. And that's because in our next task we need to get 60 passengers from Topeka to Denver. Okay, let's just do a quick recap of what we've done so far in this video. We did a Denver first strategy with laying out the track, so we connected to Denver early, got our expresses up and running early. We got settler bonus straight away, we delivered corn to Topeka straight away. We've micromanaged quite a few of our trains to make the most out of them. And then we got sugar into Wichita and Topeka early, which gave us the 7 goods, and now we're just waiting for the fruit. I think I'm going to just put another train on there. Yes, I am. Just let that train through. And how's Wichita doing with the stockpiling? So not much corn, not much beer either. Let's bring beer down here. So I'm going to have a comfort break at this point. I'm just going to press escape and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoyed the video today. Remember to comment, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.